Oven, which with a Cataclysm into the Ragnarok of the Olaf, boom, Olaf can't make it through walls. Unfortunately, no, unless he becomes a ghost, that is not going to be happening, my friend. So I think that here Team Singularity have a really strong comp. They have some really good characters in their respective roles that also counters the comp to remain the undefeated team in EU, or if Team Singularity are about to take them down once and for all. It's possible. We've seen them do many big calls coming into this event and also the Mobile Mayhem. So they got everything to prove into this one. And if they do make it, you mentioned it, if they take 2-0, not only do they make a statement, but they also overtake the spot of Trovo Nova in the standings.
Yeah, it will be down to now Singularity with the composition they've drafted. I believe a way better composition than Trovo Nova here going into the first match. If they execute it, now will be another question entirely, though, because as we say, it is Trovo Nova they're going up against, and you can't count them out considering how dominant they have been through every single team that Trovo Nova have gone up against.
Yeah, they just had some really good experience. And I think the Trovo Nova is, as they were talking about the other day, they are slowly making their way for a very long-term focused team, right? That's the overall intention, which I think is what you should be doing. Very similar to also Try, going for a very long-term kind of team synergy. So hopefully things are going to be looking good for them in the future once the official esports scene kicks into action. Though no lane swapping, I was expecting to maybe see some happen for Hydro onto this Jhin, but that is not going to be the case. And I talked about it, Hydro, the only one that I've been seeing has any kind of results coming through with a Varus. So you know what? If he picks it later on in the draft, I would not be surprised, and I would actually be happy because we would actually see some good Varus gameplay, which is always good to see.
Varus, I am desperate, Max, man, to see it show off. I am convinced that when it works, Varus will work in one shot the entire
If it works,
team.
it works. Yes, very good point.
but the fact that you don't see it land these chain of corruptions, the fact that you don't see it land the combinations that it needs to be able to build those blight stacks, and I think also based on the fact that teams that it goes up against have particularly notably fast-paced CC fight compositions that don't allow the Varus over time to be able to stack up those blight stacks and then be able to do damage that he needs to. Varus works if the enemy team don't immediately wipe you off the board, and in this meta, it's slightly, unfortunately, against them in that terms.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hurting them for the long term in this one. Akali, though, in the mid lane position, which is going to be the position in which she dominates the most, and especially against Virus on his Corki, they are going to be having some good time. Virus, let's not forget, big reason why they won themselves their match yesterday versus Tribe. Redemption in a pretty scary spot and instantly killed down. And he said it, hey, Hydro on this Jhin, if he's able to get fed, he could become a very scary part of the equation for Trovo Nova, and a first blood for Jhin is not really a good telling of how you're dealing with your early game here.
Jhin manages to find it and make it happen here against the early game champion herself, and it's surprising and unfortunate to see them fall down here. Singularity initially it was bad first blood, but they're looking to try take it back to Jhin early on, but Misfortune just won't be there to execute the damage they need, and neither will this Jarvan realistically be able to find one. Kennen, because he is a little bit of a speedy boy himself, will be able to have the star. And now, just the fight turns back, and the Camille going to be having to use the abilities there to cut off the engage.
Velos is trading so good onto Zor right now, actually. He's feeling really good. Going to go for the trade-off. Once again into the Twilight Shroud. He's got to be careful because Vex is going to be right there. Flasher for Flash. Can he survive it? No, he can't. Try to go for maybe a last-second shutdown onto Velos. And this is already 2-0 going over to Trovo Nova. Despite the more powerful draft coming out from, normally, as you mentioned earlier, for the side of Team Singularity, the execution side of Trovo Nova is just too damn good. It's down to almost perfection.
Yeah, if you play better on the day than the enemy team, you deserve to win no matter what really composition you go. Heck, you can bring in a Singe if you've got JLC Max to take it and show it how it should be played. But you do see now coming up the first Drake. It's going to be that Mountain Drake going to be on the board. And this will be crucial, I think, now for the side of Singularity to actually deny these picks that are going away, to actually have that slight advantage and slight edge, because if it goes the way of Trovo Nova, they're going to have that slight defense against the Assassin, against the burst potential of this Akali and Misfortune, and that's going to actually hurt specifically their comp more than it just would based on being a normal Mountain Drake alone.
Scuttle secured, and the Drake is now up. It's going to be Mountain Drake for the first one, not Infernal. So if you want to trade it for some towers and some extra gold, I'm 100% down with the kids for that. So Grizz, frontline Grizzly Q. I had a little bit of an interview actually with him a few days ago, and I got to say he's feeling really confident with his team for the set of Trovo Nova. And he also was thinking that they would beat Tribe in Mobile Mayhem. So they were able to do that, and now the next objective is to remain undefeated throughout the entire event, which hopefully they are going to be able to do and replicate today also versus Singularity. Few turret trades, Corky a little bit overzealous, but he's also got his packs available, so he's ready to just move out of the fight if he gets engaged upon. And especially the thing is, Jarvan, sure, it's a good pickup against these Jins, this Kennen, this Olaf, but against the Corky, is like one of the worst pickups because Veros literally does not give a damn about walls and terrain.
Yeah, Corky is just going to be able to jump back and forth through these team fights wherever he pleases. But it will be now the first team fight still to come through for both squads. It's only been the 2 picks. It's only been the Dragon still up for both of these teams, and I think what we'll see is actually decided Trovo Nova to reset and come down towards this Drake to try contest it, because yes, it's a Mountain Drake and it might not be the best, it's only the first Drake up, but what it does provide now is that protection, as we mentioned, against the composition of that Akali, of that Misfortune, but also you won't want to give it up so easily. But I say that this Olaf is getting run down, and he's going to almost die because that Akali will be the one to assassinate him out. But Corky comes back against the Camille, lands the 1-for-1 trade, and now it will be the double kill for the Akali onto the Kennen. But it will be the Drake going the way of the Jarvan, albeit though Corky does take up 3 kills for himself, and that will now be, there's 2 kills going up for him, going to now be 3 up in total, and he's going to be able to extend that lead over this Akali.
A little bit of an overstep, unfortunately, from Rampog and Zor. Instant regret on that one, and the Drake does indeed pick up. But you know what? They lose 2, they get the Drake. I think overall that Drake for the long term is going to be good, and especially gives you that little shield, which against a team such as the Kennen and also the Jin, they go for some rather big poking. That shield could sometimes make the difference. As now Herald is going to be initiated upon by For a Difference. That has been doing indeed a very big difference yesterday in their matchup versus Tribe. But he doesn't have his infamous Lee Sin because they banned it actually away. So For a Difference, let's see what he can potentially do. There you go. Vex trying to maybe get a nice little machete steal, but it's not going to be close enough. Wonderful going to get dived upon. Not going to be looking good. Doing so much work, but Veros is just going to make also Rampog just cry and bawl his eyes out. Man, Veros is just feeling so confident on his Corky. It's not even funny. And sure, we talked about how good the draft was for Singularity, but when you're just playing this dominantly and this good, like, a good draft just can't save you from everything.
Veros is ahead in this game 3-0, and that is what is causing the hurt into the side of Singularity from him specifically, because that fight didn't go the way for them over around that Rift Hells. That's what actually caused now Veros to be so far ahead in this game, and with even the buffs he's going to be able to get from his passive, that's going to make him such a deadly threat in his fight. But the Kennen jumps in.
There you go, because Corky's just about to join up. Instant flash on forward, but it doesn't matter. For a Difference, also very low, and Phil's going to keep on going. He is delivering the damage. He is delivering an insanely good show in this matchup. There's always got to be careful. Sure, you're Kali, but he's not able to perform as you could expect as of right now. And the next Drake is going to be an Ocean one. So, Vision is going to be of the hour. If they can get it later on, that will be huge once again for Trovo Nova. They're going to go fully engaged into the Twilight Shroud. They're going to try and find the shots. They don't know exactly where she is. So they're going to put their focus now down onto the tower. And first mid lane tower going on down. The amount of control that now Trovo Nova will be able to apply in their engages is going to be huge and clinical for the next engages.
In setting up for his Dragon as well, Max Man, they're going to be able to walk and gank through these side lanes into the mid now, which is something that just the side of Singularity won't be able to do, because they don't have that fog of war cleared, because that turret still provides that danger for them, still provides that uncertainty in favor of Trovo Nova in that mid lane. But you see, Trovo Nova are going to be the ones to reset here, going to stop this push coming out from Rampog. And Rampog, maybe in a little bit of a tricky position, but has found Clemmer under the turret.
Clemmer under tower there, going to get the stun, connected with his team. The tower does fall, and this is going to be a really good cataclysm coming out from the Jarvan. It would buy a lot of time for his team, but is it going to be enough? It should be, and that was a close call, but just what they needed. Singularity, not giving up whatsoever, but in the top side, Zoe on this Akali, you know what, able to survive that one. Surprisingly enough, things worked out just fine for Singularity, but I think it was a little bit too close for comfort in that one, Highland.
Crucial that we didn't lose those 2 picks. Would have been detrimental for that 2-1 trade in favor of Clemmer. But as you say, they managed to make it work. They managed now to be able to reset with that extra gold in their pockets, as it will be 20 seconds to the Baron, 20 seconds to this Drake as well to come up. And yes, the Drake comes up, but I also think with the pressure now that you see Singularity pushing in the top lane, that's crucial because it stops potentially the Baron still coming through from Trovo Nova, and they're able maybe now to put some pressure around this Drake because Trovo Nova, they don't want this Baron, they're going for this Drake, they're looking to try equalize in the series, but it might just go for this catch into the mid lane.
Yeah, Trovo Nova knew that they were potentially going to threaten away that Baron if they were going to go for the Drake themselves. So I think that was a really good response from Trovo Nova. They just don't want to potentially give it away, but actually going to go for the Drake, which I was not thinking, but oh, there you go. They're going to be taking the bait. Singularity going to try and go for the deny. Down to 50% HP for a difference on the other side. Ready to jump on over very soon with a banner. He's going to get the steal. That'll be huge. And he's able to snatch it away on the 15 HP remaining on that Drake. That's big. And now Ken and Ultimate just going to bring so much CC to the table. This is not looking good for Team Singularity, as Trovo Nova are still alive as a 4-man crew. Now a 3-man. And they are still delivering the damage in many, many big ways. Or will be able to make it alive. Oh, no. The cancel on the backboard is big. And Clemmer will not be able to pick up that frag onto Zor. The dash will be coming on through. Alistar bumps into the wall, into the pulverize. And that is going to be all set and done. Trovo Nova, another dominant showing. But they did lose the Drake, unfortunately, for them.
That is going to be the start of snowball of the objectives that they need. Keep in mind, this entire time, the Rift Herald was pushing down through this lane, did take a turret and a half, albeit 4 of them, and now Trovo Nova have a slight disadvantage in terms of positioning here, maybe around this top side. Yes, they were able to take the first turret themselves, but they maybe start to lose pressure on these top lane turrets, seeing how if another push like that happens and another turret goes away, they've got no priority moving through that red side jungle into their top lane. And that might be the point of contention, especially considering you've got a Camille besides Singularity, that split push champion in favor for the side.
Yeah, she's going to be trying to actually split push a little bit away into the bottom side, I believe, trying to get himself the Cromp. They get a little bit extra gold. Not going to get denied by Clem, unfortunately. But this is a 1v1 that Rampog should be able to take normally pretty easily. Going to give it a shot. Nice engage. Still got the extra ultimatum. Is he going to pop it? No, he's not. Did have the opportunity, but unfortunately not going to do so. They were all in mid. I think that could have been potentially a very easy kill for him. Doing it under tower, and the ultimate is still available. He could go for the stun. Rampog, he should not have done that. He tries to go for the re-engage. He will pick it up. It's a 1-for-1 trade. He would have done the hectic ultimatum a lot earlier away from the tower. That could have been an easy win for Rampog, but unfortunately, I would call that a little bit of a throw from the Camille.
Yes, slight misexecution does cost them that 1-for-1 trading, cost them now the pressure, potentially the Camille coming through into the mid lane, denying actually with the Olaf away from that mid lane. They could have put a lot more pressure in if they were able to keep themselves alive. But it will now be the fight into the mid lane as Jin looking for his next kill.
Yeah, nice free onto your wonderful. He will be able to make it away though, down to 50% HP, so he's going to go back to base. Potentially very soon, we'll just wait for some regens to come out on his end. 12 minutes and 45 seconds in. Currently, the gold lead is almost even, Stevens. Just a few hundred gold going in favor of Team Singularity, showing how close of a matchup this actually is. But Trovo Nova, they have this composition that I think is good to say here. Highland scales extremely good as long as they do not fall behind. And currently, they are a little bit in lead in terms of kills. I'm looking at this this Olaf, though. He's in a position where he's going to be so useless in those engages. 0, 3, and 4. I'm a little bit skeptical as to what he can actually bring into the table. In the bottom side, there we go, another 1v1 happening, but Rampog is not going to use the hectic ultimatum, using it under tower once again, which is not the play. He gets stunned up. Rampog, twice in a row, you do the exact same mistake, use it away from the tower, but now in mid, the curtain call comes out from Jin. The bullets only will be able to connect the 4th bullet onto Redemption, a little bit of extra take damage to add to the mix. But yeah, Rampog, man, come on. I've seen him do better stuff in that one. Hopefully, he will be doing better in those next engages. Zor, though, in a very scary spot, rooted away, will be able to jump on over. Vils trying to deal the damage on that opportunity, but he will not be able to find that one Zor out of position. But it seemed like another fight is just about to come around the corner. Engage from Alistar into the hectic Ultimatum is not going to be available just yet also for Rampok, so that is not something you can use in this engage. They found already one. That's going to be Zor out of position and taken down instantly. And now, because they got that man advantage and they are looking really healthy, this is an easy Baron going away potentially off Trovo Nova. But no, they're coming in for another round, and the root will connect onto your Wonderful. What are they doing in gunning there one by one? Singularity seemed like they had the lead earlier, but they're just giving it away for free.
That was a wonderful re-engage from Trovo Nova, able now to find those picks, able to now take more names away. They will take just another one onto Java, not respecting the fact that they had control over that Baron. I think now with that Baron coming over, with those kills, 30 seconds of that Jarvan going to be off, considering now the fact that that Cloud Drake is also up, you're giving away an objective, you're giving away a secondary objective with that Cloud Dragon down below. Yes, they get the turret, but it's only going to be pitiful. That pity gold here going over in their favor compared to what actually Trovo Nova are picking up.
There you go. Drake, that's going to be a Cloud one. That's going to be making Erlaf extremely happy to just be able to close that gap a lot easier with the extra move speed coming out from that. And there you go. Now they're going to be potentially looking to push into the mid lane. I mean, they got the Baron buff. Who would not? They got to be careful. Corki's not currently there. So just got to be respectful. If you do get engaged upon them, you got to be careful of how you approach this. As Camille talked about it here earlier, Highland, that she was going to keep on split pushing. She may be looking for the second turret in mid, but... in top, but here the mid towers are a lot more valuable, and they're just going to be keeping the pressure up there. Great engage from the Alistar, going to get a lot of CC, but unfortunately a little bit too deep. His team can't do too much, but though the engage, Trovo Nova, they are going to be over here and maybe struggling a little bit, taking a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter. They're still so healthy. Vex will go down eventually. Hectic Ultimatum last second onto Clemmer, but the instant regret from Rampog is going to cause his demise, potentially going straight back to the fountain. As this now Nexus is Bear and Highland Wolf, this should be normally the game going in favor of Trovo Nova, and that will indeed be the case. 1-0 for Trovo Nova, and Singularity, despite having a bang of a composition, they were just not able to make it work as they were expecting.
Singularity, they just got outplayed there towards the end. Not there with the Hextech Ultimate, not only to lock down one single member, but also to push the rest of Trovo Nova back from the fight. The Cataclysm locked